ಮಿಸಾಲು ಆದತಕ ಹೆಲಿಫೆಲಿವೆಗಳು ಮದುಮಾ ದುಂಫತ್ ಕೇಸ್ತಿಮಾಲ್ ಕುರುಂ ಅದಿರಾಬುಯಿಂ ಫದ ಆದಕಾದತಂ ಹಿಮೆನೆ
Making headlines this hour, President Dr. Mohamed Muiz reaffirms the close and enduring ties between the Maldives and Malaysia in a message congratulating the Southeast Asian nation on the occasion of its Independence Day. President Dr. Muiz reaffirms the strength of the Maldives' diplomatic ties with China during his second official visit, describing the relationship as grounded in long-standing friendship and mutual goodwill. And the Minister of Homeland Security and Technology, Ali Hassan, states that President Dr. Mohamed Muiz is working diligently to enhance the organization and quality of the Maldives Police Service. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. Now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz reaffirms the close and enduring ties between the Maldives and Malaysia in a message congratulating the Southeast Asian nation on the occasion of its Independence Day. The message, shared via social media, conveyed best wishes to King Sultan Ibrahim, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, the government of Malaysia and the Malaysian people. It reflected a spirit of goodwill and underscored the strength of bilateral relations. President Muiz, in his statement, reiterated that Malaysia is a valued partner and friend to the Maldives. Malaysia commemorates its Independence Day each year on 31st August, marking its liberation from British colonial rule in 1957. This year's celebration marks the 68th anniversary of that historic milestone. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz reaffirms the strength of the Maldives' diplomatic ties with China during his second official visit, describing the relationship as grounded in long-standing friendship and mutual goodwill. The visit included high-level talks with President Xi Jinping and participation in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO summit. In a statement shared on social media, President Muiz expressed appreciation for the reception extended by Chinese officials. The dialogue centered on accelerating joint initiatives and identifying new areas for collaboration. Economic development, trade, investment, and security emerged as key pillars of the bilateral agenda. President Muiz expressed confidence in the newly established China-Maldives Comprehensive Strategic Cooperative Partnership 2024 to 2028, describing it as a framework to deepen engagement and deliver tangible benefits to both nations. According to the President's office, President Xi Jinping pledged full cooperation in support of the Maldives' national development objectives. Throughout the visit, President Muiz underscored the historical depth of the China-Maldives relationship and the shared aspiration for prosperity. The discussions reflected a mutual desire to preserve this foundation as the basis for future cooperation. A statement issued by the Maldives President's office confirmed that President Xi welcomed President Muiz and expressed appreciation for his visit, noting its significance in reinforcing long-standing bilateral ties. President Muiz conveyed his pleasure at returning to China in an official capacity and thanked President Xi for the invitation and hospitality. The meeting also addressed broader areas of cooperation, including security, collaboration, and people-to-people exchanges. According to the statement, President Xi reaffirmed China's commitment to supporting the Maldives' development goals and highlighted the importance of sustaining a results-oriented partnership. Both leaders agreed to further elevate bilateral relations under the framework of the Comprehensive Strategic Cooperative Partnership 2024 to 2028. The engagement concluded with a shared reaffirmation of intent to deepen cooperation and advance mutual interest. The Minister of Homeland Security and Technology, Ali Hassan, states that President Dr. Mohammad Muiz is working diligently to enhance the organization and quality of the Maldives Police Service. The Homeland Security Minister made the remarks at the graduation ceremony of the 40th Police Basic Training Course. Minister Hassan, in his address, said policing requires courage and bravery, patriotism, and a strong sense of public service. He congratulated the new graduates who successfully completed their training. The minister stressed that the police service plays a vital role in safeguarding national security and peace, and said the institution embodies key principles essential for the country's progress. Noting the President's commitment to improving the police service, Minister Hassan said significant efforts are underway to achieve this. He pointed to the government's aim to establish a police presence on every inhabited island before the end of the year as a clear example provides important foundations for the development of the nation. He called on the police to serve the people with love and respect. Commissioner of Police Ismail Naveen says the police uniform symbolizes the way of this responsibility and duty that comes with serving the public. Commissioner Naveen, speaking at the graduation ceremony of the 40th Police Basic Training Course, told graduates that the training's completion marks the beginning of their professional journey. The Commissioner emphasized that police officers must always act within the law and strive to earn the respect of the public by serving with justice and compassion. He also underscored the importance of punctuality, describing it as a core quality that every police officer must possess. He said the graduating officers must maintain the dignity of the police and reminded them they are the guardians of society. The training course was conducted at the National College of Policing and Law Enforcement Center in Wani, Dal Atoll. The graduation ceremony was attended by the Minister of Homeland Security and Technology, Ali Hassan, along with other senior dignitaries. During the ceremony, awards were presented to outstanding participants. Sergeant Muhammad Arshad was named the best all-round student and received the Commissioner's Excellence Award from Commissioner Naveen. The top 3 students from individual squads were also recognized, and Ainella squad was named Best Squad. The Police Basic Training Course is designed to strengthen the capacity of new recruits through physical training, operational safety, tactics and instruction in laws and regulations. The 40th training program saw the participation of 138 students, of which 116 successfully graduated. The Maldives crosses a major threshold in its most expansive reforestation effort to date, with more than 650,000 trees planted under the government's 5 million trees planting program.
Figures released by the Ministry of Tourism and Environment place the current total at 658,294 trees, underscoring the scale of the initiative aimed at restoring the country's natural landscapes and reinforcing its environmental resilience. The program was first introduced by President Dr. Mohammad Muiz during his address at the 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP28, held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The summit, recognized as the world's foremost climate forum, provided the platform for the Maldives to announce its 5-year commitment to plant 5 million trees. The campaign officially began on World Environment Day. At the heart of this initiative is a mission to revitalize endangered tree species native to the Maldives, expand green ecological sustainability, while the entities have raised the target to 6.4 million, making it the largest tree nation's history. A key component of the campaign involves the cultivation prioritized for propagation and replanting. This focus by President Moises' government reflects a broader strategy-term goal of planting 2 million at the end of the current year. Support has come from across sectors with 178,244 trees, while both the Housing Development Corporation and Maldives Ports Limited have committed to 1 million each. SDM Farm has offered 75,000 trees, the State Electric Company Limited, Stelco 600,000 and RCL 500,000. Additional contributors have collectively promised 1,081,150 trees, reinforcing the momentum behind the national effort. Public engagement has also been encouraged, with the government inviting citizens to participate through tree donations and planting activities. The campaign has drawn attention beyond national borders, with neighboring countries reportedly contributing trees to support the initiative.
Adam Sharif Umar, a Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, underscores the critical role played by Shawiyan Atoll in the 16th century jihad led by Sultan Al-Ghazi Muhammad Taqur Fan Al-Azam Siri Sawadi Maharadung, widely known as Bur Taqur Fan, to liberate the Maldives from Portuguese colonial rule. Minister Adam Sharif, speaking during a National Day commemorations held at the atoll level in Bilefahi, urges citizens to reflect on the atoll's historic contributions and draw lessons from its legacy.
The minister described Shawiyan Atoll as having rendered significant service during Bur Taqur Fanu's campaign to free the nation from foreign subjugation. Historical records, he noted, quote, clearly demonstrate the substantial support provided by Shawiyan Atoll residents, unquote. Among the connections he highlighted was the island of Maroshi, which played a vital role in the logistics of the resistance. It was from Maroshi that Bur Taqur Fanu obtained the sail for his legendary vessel Karua Fummi. The ship, revered as a symbol of Maldivian honor and bravery, is believed to have regularly docked at a harbor in Maroshi designated specifically for it. These details, the minister said, are historical truths that strengthen the connection between Shawiyan Atoll and Bur Taqur Fanu's jihad. The minister also reflected on the loyalty of Maroshi residents who, despite the risk of Portuguese discovery, safeguarded the location of Karua Fummi. He went on to highlight Bur Taqur Fanu's strategic mastery of the Maldives' sea channels and island formations. This deep understanding enabled him to navigate Karua Fummi through challenging waters, an essential advantage in confronting a formidable maritime power such as the Portuguese. The minister cited this tactical element as further evidence of Shawiyan Atoll's relevance to the historical campaign. Minister Adam Sharif, in closing, turned to the present, underscoring the importance of preserving national heritage. He called for renewed efforts to restore historical sites and revive ancient crafts across the Maldives, describing such initiatives as vital to the celebration of National Day and the broader revival of Maldivian nationhood.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of the Maldives, CA Maldives, convenes its inaugural Chief Financial Officer CFO Forum, a significant step toward reinforcing the country's financial sector through professional collaboration, ethical leadership, and technological innovation. Branded as CFO Forum 2025, the event drew more than 100 participants, including chief financial officers from domestic companies, financial experts, and other professionals. The forum marks a new chapter for CA Maldives, which aims to provide a structured space for examining the nation's financial landscape and identifying strategies for long-term development. CA Maldives stated that the initiative was designed to bring together financial sector professionals to exchange knowledge and develop cooperative solutions to shared challenges. The opening ceremony featured a keynote address by Ahmad Ali Habib, Principal Secretary to the President on Cabinet Affairs at the President's Office. In his remarks, Habib underscored the importance of ethical and innovative contributions from financial professionals in shaping the sector's future. He affirmed the government's commitment to supporting CA Maldives in its efforts to build a resilient and transparent financial environment. He also pointed to the broader national impact of a strong financial sector, citing the role of integrity-driven audits in enabling responsible lending, improving tax collection, and attracting investor interest through reliable financial reporting. Muhammad Halim Abdullah, president of CA Maldives, reiterated the forum's purpose as a venue for financial professionals to share experiences and insights. He noted that the program would explore emerging technologies and address key issues facing the sector in an increasingly complex global environment. CA Maldives, which organized the forum, was established in 2020 under the Maldives Chartered Accountants Act. The institute is tasked with regulating the accountancy professional in accordance with international standards, developing a professional accounting framework, and promoting sectoral growth. In business, we have the S&P 500 ends down from record heights with losses in Dell, Nvidia and other AI-related stocks, while investors opposed inflation data showing tariffs have started feeding into prices.
According to preliminary data, the S&P 500 lost 41.50 points or 0.64% to end at 6,460.36 points, while the Nasdaq Composite lost 249.61 points or 1.15% to 21,455.55. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 91.12 points or 0.20% to 45,546.08.
First of all, you've got a Friday before Labor Day weekend. Who's even coming to work besides you and me? There's liquidity is pretty low. You've got a hearing about Fed independence. You've got NVIDIA earnings that, even though they beat, still disappointed. People were disappointed in data center revenue growth.
Nvidia dipped for a third straight day. The AI heavyweights quarterly report fell short of investors' high expectations, but confirmed that spending related to artificial intelligence infrastructure remains strong. Dell tumbled and was among the deepest decliners in the S&P 500 after high manufacturing costs for AI-optimized servers and intensified competition overshadowed the company's bullish demand forecast for artificial intelligence infrastructure.
A Palestinian presidential spokesperson urges the United States to reverse a decision to not allow a Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to travel to New York next month for a United Nations gathering of world leaders.
Nabil Abu Rudenia, speaking from Ramallah in the West Bank, said the decision contradicts with international law. The U.S. State Department official said Abbas and about 80 other Palestinians would be affected by the decision to deny and revoke visas from members of the Umbrella Palestine Liberation Organization and the West Bank-based Palestinian Authority. Abbas had planned to attend the annual high-level UN General Assembly in Manhattan. He was also said to attend a summit there, where Britain, France, Australia and Canada have pledged to formally recognize a Palestinian state. Abbas's office said it was astonished by the visa decision and said it violated the UN Headquarters Agreement. Under a 1947 UN Headquarters Agreement, the US is generally required to allow access for foreign diplomats to the UN in New York. Washington, however, has said it can deny visas for security, extremism and foreign policy reasons. Several European foreign ministers arriving at a European Union meeting in Copenhagen criticized the US decision. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot told reporters that a UN General Assembly cannot be subject to any restrictions on access. Spanish Foreign Minister José Manuel Albares said the U.S. move was unacceptable. Irish Foreign Minister Simon Harris said the EU should protest the decision in the strongest possible terms. The State Department justified its decision by reiterating long-standing US and Israeli allegations that the PA and PLO had failed to repudiate extremism while pushing for unilateral recognition of a Palestinian state. Palestinian officials reject such allegations and say decades of US-mediated talks have failed to end Israeli occupation and secure an independent state of Palestine.
Karim Benzema makes a perfect hat-trick as Al Ittihad began their defense of the Saudi Pro League title with an emphatic 5-2 win away to Al Ukhdud. The former Ballon d'Or winner opened the scoring just 4 minutes in, slotting home on his left foot after the host lost possession in their own box. 3 minutes later, Dutch winger Steven Bergwijn scored from a free kick to make it 2-0. Colombian midfielder Sebastian Pedrosa cut the deficit in the 27th minute with a header, but Al Ittihad hit back within 2 minutes as Houssam Ouro's shot was deflected in by Saudi Al-Rubeya for an own goal. Benzema then headed in from a Fabinho cross of 6 minutes after the restart, with Pedrosa scoring a second for Al Ukhdud before the 37-year-old French striker completed his perfect hat-trick from a near-post volley on his favoured right foot. Ordinary falls, docile with honey brown coats and white facial patches, content to spend 5-10 months old, are the world's first genetically edited horses. The single DNA sequence inserted using CRISPR technology.
The company that produced the horses says gene editing has the potential to revolutionize horse breeding. While cloning creates a genetically identical copy, CRISPR functions as a sort of genetic scissors to cut and customize DNA. The company, which specializes in equine cloning, used CRISPR to reduce the expression of the myostatin gene, which limits muscle growth. The idea was to increase the muscle fibers that allow for powerful movements and so transform the horses into sprinters. But Polo isn't letting them in so fast. While Argentina, regarded as the global capital of polo, has long welcomed reproductive technologies including cloning to breed elite horses, the sport's national body and breeding association are putting up hurdles to prevent GE horses from joining the game. The Argentine Polo Association has banned GE horses from competition, and the Argentine Association of Polo Horse Breeders told it will monitor the horses for 4 or 5 years before making a decision on whether to register them as Argentine polo ponies. It's unclear how the sport's national body would enforce a ban. Argentine regulations do not distinguish between cloned, GE, and conventionally bred horses, and neither does the Polo Association. Some breeders said Asia was brought to Argentina by a British immigrant, the first polo to drive a ball through goal posts. It's expensive. Players ride as many as dozen horses. We exported around 2,400 polo horses last year, and the Argentine polo breed carry embryos of polo playing horses. And unlike horse racing, polo allows cloned animals.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.